Hello, how are you?
Doing good, pretty good, man. Good to see you.
You too. You been outdoors?
Yeah, I was been on the lake all day yesterday, not catching fish. This is David Gravette, and you're listening to Talkin Schmit.
It's cool, like tonight is the night.
Here we go again.
Just give it the old college try, right now.
Big Dog's in.
Schmitty!
96 times, Schmitty.
Thanks, Schmitty.
We on? Schmitty?
Talkin Schmit.
That's called go to the hospital, bitch.
I'd be shitting my pants, lad.
Your Rolodex is fucking deep.
It's about the one.
Who is this guy thinks he's tough shit?
What's up?
We're tastemakers.
Come on, Schmitty, what the fuck?
Let's hear it for Greg Smith. Yeah!
When I was thinking about who my most tech-savvy bros are out there, definitely high on the list was this next guy. David Gravette is with us this week.
Yo, yo, yo.
What's up, Dave?
Not much. I appreciate you considering me for tech savvy. That's definitely my niche for sure.
Yeah, straight off of Zoom.
Yep. Figured that one out mostly on my own. Liz never really helped me that much.
No?
Thanks to you, I now have a Zoom account. Keep gaining these accounts that I never thought I'd be part of.
Let's start with the early days. Where you were born and raised up in Washington, yeah?
Mm-hmm. Little town called Issaquah.
Issaquah.
Yeah.
And is that where you discovered skateboarding?
It is. For some reason, that little town was like, I believe we were either number 4 or 5 of all of skate parks in Washington. Like, we were one of the only 5 parks in all of Washington, which was crazy because there was so much town. Like, Seattle didn't even have a permanent park when Issaquah got one. Like, they only had a metal drop ramp set up in a parking lot. It's just still nuts to think about because I don't know how much longer it would have taken me to start skating if we didn't get that part. I mean, we didn't even have chains, it was just mom and pop stores and one little front street. So
what's the population back then?
I don't really know what it was. It couldn't have been that much though, because there was only you could throw a rock across the whole damn town almost. And
it's small.
Yeah, but now they just started, it was in a valley and now they just stuck like so many developments all around the hills. So it's a big city now, I'd say, but back then.
So how did it go down? Were you a kid and you were just like at the park and you saw that there was a skate park or something and that drew you to it?
It was 4th grade when we got the skate park, and that's all the kids in my class pretty much skated. And I just went down to the skate park one day and I didn't really know anything. Like, someone let me borrow their board and I just took it and just dropped in. Like, I swear it sounds stupid, but that's really what happened. I didn't ride it at all. I just put it on the coping and dropped in, and they were like, "You can drop in?" And I was like, I was expecting myself to be I thought it looked super easy and I'd be like all good. And I was like, what? I'm just going down the ramp. That's not even a trick. But yeah, so then I got a board and it was awesome.
Where did you get the board at? Like at a Big Five or something?
I believe, no, that's the plot thickens a little bit. I almost started skating 2 years before this when I was 8. I randomly saw skateboarding at the Seattle Science Center at this demo they had. They had a vert ramp set up.
Yeah.
I saw skating and I was instantly drawn to like any sort of stunts and like stuff like that. So I was like, I want a skateboard. And I asked for one Christmas or my birthday. I can't remember which. And I got it, and my parents like got me that Big Five set up, that Nash board or whatever, that plastic wheels that stuck. And never gonna forget that. We went down to the old library park in Issaquah, and I had my skateboard, and I was so excited to ride it for the first time. And they had the little wheelchair ramps, and I went up to go down one, and like my board didn't even roll. Like, I literally was standing on it on a downhill slant. And it like didn't even move hardly. And I was like, this is the dumbest shit I've ever fucking done. Like, skateboarding is whack. And like, yeah, didn't think about it, didn't touch that board again for a couple of years until that fourth grade, like till everyone was skating, and I still never touched that Nash though. I knew it wasn't gonna work. Like as soon as I decided I wanted to skate again, I asked my parents for like I want to skateboard, but it's got to be a good one this time. Like, and I believe I don't remember which skate park. Which we had 2 skate shops in Issaquah too. We had Ride On and Extremely Bored. I ended up riding for Extremely Bored for years, but I think my parents got the skateboard from Ride On, or they might have got it from Urban Circus. That was like the original Issaquah skate shop. I can't believe Issaquah had 3 skate shops. Like,
that's
you don't
insane.
even have one. There's not one there now, and the town's way fucking bigger. Like, I don't know.
What year was this?
90s
sometime.
98, I believe.
98, late 90s. Do you remember the board?
Angel Boy, Pal Angel Boy. Yeah, and I really liked. Yeah, I tried to get Angel Boys every time. I thought he was all cool. You know, he's the badass. There's the Angel Boy series where it was like it's kind of cheesy now, but when you look at back then, it was like the same way the World Industries had their Flame Boy that was like good and bad. Like I like that Angel Boy guy. I thought he was a badass. He was like peeing on other people's logos and stuff. Like,
was there magazines up there and stuff and videos?
Yeah, definitely.
Who were some of the early dudes that you were like hyped on?
Hands down, I'll always have an answer for this when someone asks me what my favorite skater was. I mean, it's got to be Jason Adams. Jason Adams was definitely like, and all of Label Kills was my video. That was the one that I watched every single day. Loved the soundtrack, loved all the creativity and skating, because this sounds crazy and I would never do this now, and I totally recognize like I returned Fulfill the Dream. How fucked is that? I think that movie is awesome now, but like when I was 11 or 12, like I thought that kind of skating was so boring, and like all I wanted to see was like transitions and like create like weird stuff. I didn't really like care about like dude, I used to really not like ledge skating or like I used to pretend I was Jason Adams at the skate park. I'd like be like, all right, I'd do that with several skaters. I had my guys that I'd like pretend who I was gonna be when I was gonna skate like that. The one, I don't know, yeah, it's definitely funny. Like the one that always sticks in my head, because I understand like Pat Shanita is fucking awesome, but like, and it's crazy that like I'd back Pat Shanita like super fucking hard when I was a kid, and I'd always like whenever I was gonna do flip tricks or something, I'd be like, all right, I'm Pat Shanita. Like,
dude, he did fucking shit legit.
Varial flip the side of the pyramid today, like Pat Shanita, you know?
Yeah. Fuck yeah. You've always had like an interesting approach at stuff. You've always, ever since I met you, you've done things like kind of creatively and different. Like, where do you think that came from?
I'm definitely, it's what my mom always told me, because I'd always be getting like, I don't really know what the word is, but at school and stuff, I always did things definitely in my own way. Like I'd always like end up getting myself into little, because I wasn't gonna, like when all the kids decided to kind of pretend to like music because they thought it was cool to like always have their headphones on and like walk when MP3 players just came out. Like, I don't really know where I'm going with this actually. I'm kind of doing a run on like, you asked me about fucking creative.
Yeah.
If there's one trait that I admire about myself is I swear I'm only doing me. I try not to be influenced by anything else that's going on around me, and just I'm just riding my skateboard and the tricks that come to mind or what come to mind. And
fuck yeah. The day I met you was at this, I forget the name of the park, but it's up there with the full pipe, or not full pipe, well, kind of a full pipe into a cradle. I think it was the day Darren and everyone met you, right? Or no?
I think you were on that first like the resurrection trip that they did before Creature was even like really announced.
Yeah. What was the park called?
Arlington.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
Dude. Yeah, that was.
Yeah. And so, do you remember that day?
Of course. I mean, those are the two things that my skateboard career would have never happened Issaquah wouldn't have got a park, and if I wouldn't have got sponsored by Kronik energy drinks and gone on that trip and met you guys at fucking Arlington, like
They had like an RV or some shit, right?
That was day 2 of me being sponsored by them. Like I worked at Skate Barn West, and they were on their trip. They came to the skate park, like just as their team, and Skylar Siljek's mom.
Oh shit!
Skylar Siljek was riding for them, so she was like along on the trip. And then she told the owner, like, oh, that guy who's working here, like, he's really good. Like, you should sponsor him and stuff. And, like, he came up to me and was like, I hear you're good. Like, what's up? Like, you want to ride for Kronik energy drinks and come on this trip with us? I mean, if he didn't have that RV parked outside and straight up offering me a trip right then and there, I would have been like, no thanks. But I was like, hell, nobody else is taking me anywhere. So,
yeah,
I'll fucking get in. And
they had like an atlas. It was before Instagram and everything. They had kind of like a map and like a book of maps where skate parks were in there with photos. Yeah. It was like an analog version of a website almost.
Yeah, I remember when, I want to say Bryce Knights might have been involved.
It was pretty sick, like before technology. Like they had kind of like a map to skate parks, and it was like, we're going to take this highway and these are the parks we're going to hit on the road because they're on the way. And then they had kind of overview photos with each one, and it was like a binder, like a ring little booklet. I remember that. And they were trying to sell them, I think. Yeah.
People would buy them because that's what we had to do back. I mean, I remember before, like when my dad would take us on our little trips to mostly Oregon. That's where we'd always go because growing up in Washington, like Oregon was the first place to start getting those Dreamland park, that style of skate park, and it was like nothing anyone had ever seen. So we obviously definitely wanted to like get someone to take us up there and down there and check them out. So he would always take us on these little trips. So we'd be on the internet trying to look up what these parks look like and get little book MapQuest photo booklets out to show them where the parks are.
Yeah. Did you know who like Al and Darren and those guys were before that day?
I definitely knew who Al and Darren were. I had actually been trying to communicate with Al because Al was it's such a weird one. Al was the Globe team manager.
Right.
And I was trying to get on Globe at that time. And I knew Al was the Globe team manager. I like sent him my sponsor me tape and like an email or something, and like I never heard back. He swears he never got that or saw that, but when we were there and stuff, and I talked to him and told him I sent him my sponsor me tape and I was trying to get on Globe and stuff, and he said I hadn't seen it. I don't know if I told him or if he asked me, but I had my sponsor tape with me due to giving one to the Kronik energy drink guy. Back then, yeah, you roll, like if you were trying to be a skater, I guess you had to like have your fucking DVD.
Yeah.
And you never know who. It's like in the video games, you don't know who you're gonna meet. You gotta hand them your tape so you can win the big show.
Yeah.
But I had the tape with me, so I gave it to Al, and we actually went in the Kronik RV to watch it, and watched it in there. Al was really stoked. He told Darren to come in and watch it, and Darren was like, I'm not going in that fucking thing. Yeah, and I was doing that ollie. That ollie was just like how I was starting my runs or whatever, like into the bowl out of the street course. And Joe Hammocky, I didn't know it was Joe Hammocky. I didn't even know he was actually with you guys, to be honest. He asked me if I could do it again, and luckily I didn't respond like not a fucking jukebox or something. I was happy to do it again for him to take a photo, but I never would have guessed that would have been like my first photo in Thrasher. And I ended up riding for that. Like I was wearing a Santa Fe shirt because I rode for this little board company called Santa Fe.
Oh, okay.
And then that photo ended up being in the very first Creature article, and then I got on Creature shortly after that. So it was
sick.
Really weird how that played out. And then the very first Creature trip I went on, they made me quit Kronik in person too, because we went to Arizona, and that's where Kronik Energy Energy was from, and the owner lives in Phoenix. So he found out I was there and hit me up. I was like, yo, I'd love to take you guys all out for breakfast. And Darren was like, yeah, we're going to take him up on that free, like, let's get the free breakfast for sure. Creature was definitely on the struggle back then. And but he's like, but you got to quit. And I'm like, man, this is going to be so awkward. Quitting companies has never, ever been my thing. It sucks really bad. And yeah, we made plans to meet him for breakfast. Me and the owner sit at a separate table where everyone else gets their own table. And then he's like, I got some real special news for you. And pulls out this like old poster that's like of me, and it's like pro David Gravette Kronik energy drink. He's like, we want to turn you pro, like pay you $500 a month, and like expecting me to be like super over the top and like grateful. And I was like, oh man, I'm so sorry, but I actually have to quit. And he was really fucking cool about it, and like asked me why. Like was like, I'm sorry, it's just at this point in my like life where I just have to make business decisions basically, and I can't have Creature and Kronik, like it's two worlds that just aren't gonna mesh. But now it's a total different. Now everyone's got a fucking energy drink sponsor.
Yeah, full circle. Now you're sponsored by CBD or something, right?
Yeah.
From Kronik to CBD.
I mean, at least get sponsored by real weed. Come on, dude.
Yeah. Were you smoking weed back then?
I didn't start smoking weed till probably about first Creature trip.
Yeah.
First trip with Alex Horn. Look at
you. Oh, Granny. What was the first trip?
Arizona. Yeah, we went just to Arizona and skated some pools. But then really shortly after that, we went to Australia.
Cranny was claiming that he was one of the guys that was looking out for you when people would pick on you.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, no, yeah, except for when he was the one picking on me. Hey, let me use your phone. Let me use your phone. Then I'm like, yo, Cranny, you actually ran me up a $300. Yeah, that was the first Europe trip I went on with them back before anyone, like your phone wasn't going to work out of the country unless you did something to it. Like no one had iPhones and shit. It was all still the old bricks. And my mom I was like 17 or 18 and my mom really wanted me to have a phone. So she paid for me the plan to like work internationally. So I ended up being the only one out there with a working phone. So of course it was just getting pillaged, especially by Alex Horn because he was having some lady problems, I think, and like, doing the whole like she called, didn't answer, he's gonna call over and over again. He doesn't get it every time he'd give it back and be like, she didn't pick up, it's all good, like never like charge you, but it would charge every time he was like calling, so it was $3 or something. So by the end of it, he literally ranked me up like a over $300 phone bill, and then he gave me a check.
Damn.
He wrote me a check, but then when I tried to cash the check, it bounced.
Oh my God. Right.
Yeah, and then Darren's credit card stopped working on the trip. The Creature card stopped working. He was like, hey, kid, give me $300. And never saw that either.
Damn.
But kids these days don't have you can't get bullied the way it used to go down.
Right.
They're just not as stupid as me. I don't know.
What was the keys to you turning pro? Like from being AM to getting your first board, like what do you think? Like you didn't do contests, right?
I mean, not really. At that time, you were kind of either, it's weird. If you rode for energy drinks or did the contest, you were kind of taking that side of skateboarding and you weren't going to get any real sponsors and shit. I mean, you could dabble in some of the content, like tampons and stuff like that. But
yeah, there's a handful of legit ones apparently.
The Europe circuit, we'd do the Europe circuit for sure.
But that's just so you can travel Europe.
That was a hell of a trip, man. I'm really glad I got to do one of those before shit got different.
Yeah, was that one of the ones where you like take the train around?
Well, like the Prague, Czech, and like the Munster and fucking Copenhagen, Amsterdam, just do that whole thing and travel with the spot dude. It's like paper and shit and real good tour guide to how to do that shit right.
Yeah. Oh shit! So what was it like? Was it video parts and
yeah.
coverage in magazine or?
And now, like, definitely the Transworld part was the one, but I mean, I had a good amount of video parts, like a couple Thrasher interviews. So
what was the Transworld video? Which one?
And Now.
Oh, and Now, yeah, okay. And then you went pro after that came out, or kind of as that came out?
Yeah, like right when that came out.
Was it a surprise?
No, and that's another thing. Like, that was another thing that was super different. Like, back then when you turned pro, it was way different than it is now. Like, back then it took longer to go pro, but it wasn't, since there wasn't social media, the companies didn't like want to use it as like a thing that they can promote. Like, someone's going pro, we're gonna do this whole big thing. Like, it was just kind of like you get your. It was a thing. It was a thing, but it was different. It wasn't like you'd have a huge secret party. You knew about it. At least I did. I knew it was happening. They sent me my boards out. I missed my little party actually because it was supposed to go down. I was on a creature trip. I was leaving the night I went pro. Like, the news that came out, I was leaving the next day to join a Vox trip, and we sent my boards and like a half ounce of weed and like a bottle of Jack Daniels like in the box, like to the Vox trip.
Yeah.
But I got dropped off at the Denver airport an hour before my flight, and that was the first flight I ever missed during my great career. Nothing to do with me. That airport's just so big that it was like 2 miles to my fucking gate. And by the time I got there, it was 50. Like, I saw the door close, man. It was so bad. And they'd all just hit the road back to fucking Portland or to Santa Cruz.
Oh.
Like, they dropped, and no one was answering their phones. And I knew they were just getting further and further away. I'd lost my wallet a couple of days before. And I cashed my whole per diem check. And so I had like over $1,000 in my bag that had just gone on the plane away. So I was stuck at the airport, no wallet, fucking everyone's gone and going further away. And that was my pro party. But a couple of years ago, Lee threw me a super late pro party because I was giving him shit for like how everyone gets pro parties now. And I'm like, I never got fucking shit, blah, blah, blah. And he's like, what do you want to do? Let's go deep sea fishing. So.
No way. Did you?
Yeah. And that was
in like Santa Cruz or Monterey or something?
Yeah. We only caught mackerel though. Lots and lots or sardines, I think. One of those bait fish.
Were you there for when Jimmy went pro?
I wasn't.
Didn't they do something similar? They took him on a boat, right?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I think so too. Whatever happened to Devin Apello?
He's killing it. He's done everything, man. Like, that dude should have a fucking Netflix show, but
yeah,
a lot of it would be too much for TV.
What's he doing now?
He lives in like Redlands and owns nice house, several houses, I think. Motorcycle shop. He's doing good.
He's over skating though, right?
I think he still skates. Like, yeah, he hasn't been like trying to do that as a profession for a while. Like, he did it about just about everything else in between.
He got that Transworld cover and then fucking retired.
I mean, yeah, I feel a little like I can't tell his complete story, like really, but like he was killing it, and then he did DMT and it kind of like changed for a bit, and he lost a bit of his happy-go-lucky.
Oh shit.
And kind of let the door close on skateboarding a little bit, but then like got over like that and became like his old self again and stuff, and was killing it, doing all sorts of random stuff, fucking making fucking sex machines out of ceiling fucking fans and fucking
holy shit,
all sorts of stuff, man.
Okay, need to fucking link up with that dude.
You should get him on here, man. Because I don't know what's allowed to be talked about and what's not. If he tell you some of his real stories, man, because they're insane.
What percent of your career would you say has been uninjured? I'm
willing to bet that it's less than just about anyone that I know of personally, for sure. Like, I don't know what the deal is with that. It's just always something I've been drawn to. I mean, everyone says it's part of getting old, but I was doing it like from as long as even before skateboarding. Like I've just always been accident prone. It's just
Fuck.
something I've had to fucking.
How many surgeries you had?
I think we're up to like 12 now.
Fuck.
Not to mention all the ones that need to happen that haven't happened yet.
Yeah. What's the gnarliest one? Is the shoulder one up there with the?
Yeah, I mean the hips and shoulders are definitely my two things that are battling each other for who's more fucked up.
But I mean, isn't the recovery on a shoulder one of the tougher ones? Just because like you have to like be in this position that it's impossible to sleep, and just it's kind of a weaker one to repair. That's what I've always heard. I never had a shoulder surgery, but
Well, I thought didn't you have, what did you?
I kind of chickened out. I partially tore a ligament, and then the doctor was like, well, you're kind of old. Like, do you really need to like, and I was like, fuck. I just kept hearing horror stories. I think between you and Duffel, I was just like, fuck, I don't really want to have one.
Yeah, I think the problem is they're so far behind in shoulders and hips compared to like knees and elbows.
Mm-hmm.
Stuff like, cause I mean, the amount of times that the fucking doctors have told me, if you would have just torn your ACL, like, and everyone thinks that's like the end all injury, like the worst. And I'm not fucking sugarcoating that one by any means. It's
Yeah.
horrible, but like, I don't know why the surgeons always tell me that, but they're always telling me that. If only like, just, if you only would have hurt your knee, like then we'd fucking know how to do this. And I mean, the right shoulder surgery was by far the worst, but I think I had a horrible anesthesiologist on that or something. Cause like when they put me out, it burned worse than like one of the worst fucking pains ever. And I'm usually a champ going out. Like I'm always like prep talking the fucking doctors and surgeons in the room. Like I'm like, come on guys. Like and I'm getting high from my shit as I'm going out. So I'm just like in good spirits, just being like, I love you guys. Like, just like, please, like my body, I always tell them my body is like everything to me. And like, please, like give this one your all and shit, like
Yeah.
prep talk them and then go out. But this time they started giving me my shit and it was just burning my vein like crazy. And I was screaming, screaming like, dude, it's burning. And the guy was just like, go to sleep. I'm just like sucking on my mask, trying to black out. Like, and that's how I went out for that surgery. And I woke up. I'm usually a champ waking up as well. Like I'm not usually nauseous. Like I'm usually I actually wake up too early usually. And they're like,
fuck.
Go back to sleep. Like you're fucked still. And I'm like, no, I'm here. And, this time I woke up just so much pain. As soon as I opened my eyes, I was just like, oh my God, my arm is going to fucking blow up. Like,
oh man.
And I'd paid for that thing they call the Game Ready. Have you heard of that?
No.
It's like a shoulder immobilizer made out of an ice pack, basically. And you pay an extra $100 to wake up with one of these. And they claim they're fucking great. But I thought it was horrible. It was not cold enough at all. And I felt like I felt like the swelling was so intense that it was going to like blow my shoulder out.
Oh, fuck.
And I was just like, get this the fuck off of me. Bring me an ice pack like immediately. And like I was throwing up and like I couldn't leave the hospital for hours. And I was just like, if you guys would just let me smoke a joint, I'd be good.
Oh my God.
Here, but
is being injured when you discovered your alter ego, Mountain Bike Dave?
That was one of the only alter egos that was the original alter ego. And it was actually, the name was there long before I was even like biker dude as I am now. Like that started just because of Copenhagen Pro. When we all went out there on one of the years, everyone rents bikes. And when we went to the bike store to rent our bikes, they were all out of road bikes for me. It was a creature trip, so I got my last dibs. And all they had was a mountain bike, which was perfect. And I rented that, so I was just kind of rallying this old beat up mountain bike all around Copenhagen. And I believe might be Al Parton in his credit for the first person to call me Mountain Bike Dave. I don't know. I think that's kind of the first person I can remember doing it. like Copenhagen always is for me. It's way too much of a fucking party, and the skate park's insane. Like everyone's going crazy in there. I just never get in there to practice, and I can't say I've ever really competed at Copenhagen Pro, even though actually I've been to the contest a bunch of times, but and that year I realized that I wasn't gonna. The contest was about to start, like my runs were about to be up, and I literally hadn't skated the course like once yet, and had already been there's just too many boys out there partying, and back then I didn't need to skate contests for my career in any way, so it was just like I was off just partying. And so I didn't tell anyone besides the bartender, because they had a bar in the skate park, like not just inside the skate park, but in the fucking park. Like, literally, like you drop in and skate up to the bar. So I told the lady at the bar that I'm like, hey, I'm about to go. I'm going to do my run on this bike. I'm going to bike up to the bar during my run, have a vodka tonic ready for me. And like, when my run came, I just dropped in on the bike and like rode around the course, rode up to the bar, got my vodka tonic, like drank it like road bike style, like took a couple of quick drinks and threw it in my face and like pulled off. And like, and what's fucked is I didn't lose the contest. I got third from last.
Whoa.
Yeah. You could, like, who I beat Huge. That's all I can remember. But like, yeah, not one skateboard trick in there. But I did a little bit of a tabletop over the hip on the mountain bike.
I got a phone call here.
Yo, Grabs. Granny here.
What?
See, babe. Quick question. If I gotta throw it out there, is there any standout moments on our trip across country and back when we were with Hammocky and Stu Graham, Texas, Silent Mike? Oh my God, fucking Goon Out Cannon was there. Anything stand out?
Dude, I mean,
one moment in time. Love you.
Tons of stuff. I mean, we did that move. That was when I had my 19th birthday on that one. Was that when I beer bonged the 19 beers? Was that trip? I think it was.
Okay.
Damn, Cranny. I mean, I believe there was standout moments every single day of those. We had a blast on those trips of just, we didn't have anything else to do besides have a good time and maybe get a couple clips like here and there. Like no one was stressing on internet videos or like whatever. It was just about good times. Trying to think of it.
What would you say about Stu Graham, traveling with Stu? Like a lot of people don't know how fucking that guy operates.
Keep him away from vodka Red Bulls and you're fucking in for the best time of your life.
Okay.
If you have a bear suit, then give him the vodka Red Bulls.
Oh shit.
Stu's amazing. I loved fucking talking Scottish shit with him because my mom's British, so I was a month out of my childhood every year till I was 14 over in England, and I was always obsessed with medieval times, especially Scotland. Like Scotland so I played the bagpipes and like, yeah, I had to kill Sporo and whole 9 yards. I wanted to be Scottish, so I'd always chit chat with him about that shit. He'd show me some good pipes and drums.
Fuck.
Get really stoned. I remember that was I used to get really stoned when I first started smoking weed, and one of those first trips I remember like being stoned in the van and like listening to some pipes and drums and like looking at Stu and being like, dude, this is a Scot. Like he would straight up, if he was in the right times, this would be the man charging over the hill in front of everyone.
Yeah, Braveheart style.
Ready to fucking die. Like this is who he is. I'm fucking sitting next to him in a van. The real William Wallace, dude.
And when he gets fucking cranked up, it's hard to understand anything he's saying. He gets the thickish accent where he's like, and you're like, whoa, dude.
I'm actually not too. I'm better with like because of like all my relatives from that area. Like I can understand like that kind of accent better than others. I feel like I'm terrible at understanding people sometimes. Like I hate it. I wish I could communicate better.
Let's talk about the time that you, I think Al Partnan and Preston Mygetter went to Wyoming, I think. There was a beer company.
Oh, I know where this is going.
I think it was a beer company in North Dakota or Wyoming or somewhere up there.
Whitefish.
Whitefish, Montana?
Whitefish, Montana.
Okay.
Black Star. I haven't heard about them in a while, but yeah, no, that's a good one, dude. I don't think I've talked about this in anything yet.
Yeah.
Me and Al were like kind of riding for him. It was always a confusing deal. You didn't really understand what was going on, but they were like, we want to sponsor some skateboarders, and like had some pretty high talk of what was going to be happening. And then they flew me, Al, and P-Stone out to the brewery to like, they wanted to like film a video and have us compete in this talent show for the chance to win like a year's supply of beer. But they pretty much already told us that we were going to win. Like, I mean, I don't know. They told us, I remember being promised a year's supply of beer, like after going out there, and I didn't even know we were competing. I didn't even know that was the prize to the talent show.
Yeah.
But, so as soon as we got there, like we got there right in the morning, the dudes like had 12 packs in the car for us. And we just like, were drinking straight, like went to the brewery, drinking, way too much drinking. One of the owner, I think he was like the main owner, wanted to go to this poker game that was a $100 buy-in at this bar, and nobody wanted to go really. And he was like, come on, Gravette, like I'll buy you in, like come with me. Everyone else was going to go party somewhere else. And I don't know where they decided to go, but I agreed to go with the owner. So we went to this bar, and he was buying all my drinks, so I hadn't even gone up to the bar and like bought anything. We go to the table, buys me in. My first hand is amazing. Like I don't remember what I had, but it was like I thought I was unbeatable. And this dude kept betting more, and I kept having to bet more, and I find myself all in on first hand. End up losing. So now I'm just fucking sitting next to the dude for like hours. I don't know how long it was. I was already pretty fucking drunk, and I ended up falling asleep. And this motherfucker just left me. And the next thing I know, I wake up and I'm being drugged out of the fucking place by like two good old boys. And it's snow. This is Montana in the winter. Like
in the winter, right? Yeah.
Everywhere. And they fucking drug me out. The fucking bartender is yelling at me, you fucking bum, you come in here and steal drinks. Like they were accusing me of stealing, because the dude just fucking left me. And fucking dude like gives me one fucking punch as he's like tossing me into the snow, fucking leaves me out there. I don't even know where we're staying. And like no one is answering their phone. I had been to the place once. We did go there earlier that day, but I didn't get the name. I didn't have a card. It was like a fucking condo. It wasn't really like a hotel name or anything. It was weird.
Uh-huh.
And I hailed a taxi and was like, told him my story and like tried to describe the fucking place. And he was like, I think I know where you're staying. And he like took me there, and it was the place, but no one was there. No one was answering their phones still. I knew they were all out partying somewhere. I was so fucking mad at this dude for fucking leaving me. Dude, I threw the plasma TV on the fucking ground. I fucking trashed the fucking place. There was all this Black Star fucking, like they had like this big pyramid of like beers and like shirts and stuff. I fucking took all the shirts out on the balcony and lit them on fire. Oh. And then the fire started getting a little out of control. I was a little wilder when I was fucking 22, man.
Yeah.
The fire started getting the carpet started catching, and like it was getting bigger. So I ran into the house and grabbed all like the 32 bottles of beer they had, and I was just smashing them into the fire, breaking them. And I fucked that place up. And, I wasn't going to hear anything from the next day. Like when I saw that, I was like, planning on seeing the owner and being like, what the fuck, dude? Like I go, like, you knew I didn't want to be there. You know I don't know anyone. Why the fuck would you think that you could just leave me and shit? And like he like greeted me like nothing had happened at all, and someone was like, "Oh man, like last night was crazy, huh?" And I'm like, "Dude, fuck you." Where do you like?
Either Al or Peastone maybe stayed like an extra few days or something. Like they loved it.
Peastone was definitely in his natural environment, that's for sure. I think me and Al were fucking toast after. Peastone might have stayed. I don't know.
I don't remember.
And then we got the fucking year supply of beer was insane. Like but it was all it was all like expired or about to expire in a week.
Was it good beer? It was all right.
It was not too bad. I mean, I like the stuff that came in the bottles. I've never actually been the biggest fan of any canned beer. I'll drink anything out of a bottle, like a can. And if it is a can, I mean, I like to have like PBR and Rainier and stuff like that tastes better I'd rather have that in a can than a Corona. Like Corona in a can, that's almost worse than the fucking virus we're dealing with right now.
All right, we got to go into fucking King of the Road world. There's been a lot of fucking craziness for you in that. How many have you been in?
4
different years?
Mm-hmm.
So were you in it before it was on Vice once?
Oh, all 3 were before Vice, except I've only done 1 with Vice.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. So was the one with Vice, you were a guest or you were on it?
No, that was Creature. I was on it with Creature.
Okay.
I was with Birdhouse in one of them.
So you've swam with sharks. You've fucking got the crazy tattoos. You've done the fucked up hair. You did the butt chug. Like, what's the gnarliest out of all that stuff to look back on?
Let's just straighten one thing out first. That butt chug was a beer bidet. That was a bit of a fake. I knew it's not like they're gonna show my actual butthole insertion on TV, or like even look at it that close either. There's no need to actually put it in there. Jaws. I mean, unless you really want to know what it's like to butt chug a beer.
Oh my god!
I think I could imagine. I don't know.
Swimming with the sharks was pretty terrifying for you.
Yeah, definitely.
Getting the tattoo on the back of your head was probably more terrifying or less.
Well, I didn't know it was I had no problems with that at all until it turned out it was King of the Dong. Like,
yeah. So, fuck.
Which, I mean, it just kind of felt like it was enough after the fucking proposal. Like after it turned out the butt chug was a fucking trick and like my wife and shit. Like I figured it was like I'd taken a pretty severe trip down Humiliation Highway on that fucking season. Like,
yeah.
I mean,
that was all the same year, right?
Yeah, those.
It was swimming with sharks, the proposal, and the tattoo was all the same.
Yeah, well, the original, the first year I ever did King of the Road in 2009.
The eyebrows.
Did the eyebrows. So the one on the back of the head, yeah, it was just.
Who lit your hair on fire, Jerry or Jake?
Jake.
Jerry took the photo.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I remember. I was there. That was at Vegas at the end of the line.
God, that was fucking awesome. Dude, I stayed an extra 5 days and flew my chick out, and the Maloofs just comped me a suite for fucking that time, and I had $5,000 in cash from stuff from King of the Road, and I was just living it up. And
do you gamble at all?
I've never been I was gambling, but it's never been a thing I'm about too much. But
dude, the Maloof days were amazing.
yeah, gambling was fun then because
it's free money, kind of
plenty of money, and then I just got this money from King of the Road, so I'd go down there and fucking put 100 on black usually every time I walked by the roulette thing, and I kept winning, and I was also getting to experience. That was right when I got my eyebrows shaved and tattooed for the first time, and from the Jake lighting my hair on fire, it just kind of left me with this pretty hard looking look. I'd never been somebody to intimidate anyone, or usually whenever I'd try to stand up to anyone, it would just lead to my demise. Nobody took me seriously a lot of the time. And one of those nights I was like up in the room with Liz, and I was like, I'm gonna go down and smoke a joint. And like I said, I was go by the roulette table and fucking put 100 on black. And I stopped by the table, and these two like jock frat boy type fucking, we're in Vegas, fuck yeah, dudes were there. And like the what do you call a roulette dealer? Fucking a roulette fucking spinner lady.
Yeah, I don't know, something.
They were giving her a hard time and like kept being like, when do you get off, sugar? And like, you know, like fucking, I mean, she was just kind of being the whole like do her job polite act like for a while, and then they started like crossing the line too much and stuff, and she's like, can you guys please not talk to me like that and stuff? And like, and then they like kept fucking talking about it, like giving her shit, and then she's like, said something about her husband, and then they're like, oh, husband, I don't see a ring, like where's your ring and stuff. And like, and then she's like, listen, you want to know the truth? They don't let us wear our wedding rings when we work here. That's the truth, and you guys really need to go and stuff. And then I could see her hitting the fucking security button as well, and like, but they weren't there like immediately and shit. And then I like stepped in and was like, yo, you got like, she's 100% the right, you guys need to go right now and stuff. And I literally watched them like turn to me about to like just be like, fuck you, the fuck are you? And then watch their eyes meet my fucking tattooed eyebrows and like just second guess the shit out of themselves. And we're just like, like, I'm like, no, go right now and stuff. And like made them leave. And then she was just like, oh, thank you so much and stuff. And like gave me like $50 in fucking chips too. And then when the security came over, she even like, when the security came, she like told them like, oh yeah, this guy like stepped in, like I gave him $50 in chips and stuff, like just to let you guys know.
That's amazing.
Like, damn, these things work good, but it doesn't work like that anymore. Like, because every time I went on King of the Road, I have to shave my eyebrows because they figure out some way to make me do it. Now I feel like it just would get me into trouble. Like, and like, been the first time never in my life had more attention from women. Like, so many girls would just constantly come up to me like, oh my god, are those tattoos? And then like, once they hear the story, then they're like even more stoked. And yeah, now I'm just like, people act scared of me, and like Vatos try to test me or something. I don't know. Like,
oh shit,
it's kind of different being older.
Did you get more notoriety like after the Vice thing, like it being on TV? Would you like notice more people would approach you and knew who you were?
Oh yeah, definitely. It was kind of a weird time because I just, right after that came out, I got hurt for fucking like 2 years straight, and like started going out of business, like got a couple pay cuts, and then it was like kind of a weird feeling. It was like, dude, I've never been more, everywhere I go, people are like, I've never been more famous yet. Like I can't get like I can't get a sponsor I can't get a shoe sponsor or
yeah, weird.
More money.
So how did the proposal thing go down? Was that preconceived, or did it come about during the trip? Like, did you think you were going to do something on this before the thing started, or how did that go down?
No, not really. I mean, you know, me and Liz have been, it was pretty obvious. We were pretty much married before this or whatever. And I've kind of been on this, like the only reason we kind of hadn't at this point is because I've always been on the side of don't really need a ring or like a title to like make it official or whatever. And it doesn't really matter to me, but yeah, I kind of just thought of it like that night, to be honest, like, cause I didn't want to do the butt chug at all. Like that was never a thing that I was always telling everyone, like, dude, cause that's what's so fucked. Like, it wasn't like people are like, how could you be tricked into this? Like, how is this possible? But it makes total sense. Like, it's literally like, because we were at the hotel for 2 days before King of the Road started doing like pre-shot stuff. All the teams were. So we're all just hanging out at this hotel for 2 days, talking, shooting the shit. Pretty much every conversation would like have somebody talking about butt chug. Everyone was sure the butt chug was going to be in it. And they'd be like, dude, are you going to do it? Who's going to do it on your team and stuff? Like, and everyone, like a lot of other people would be like coming to me like, you're going to do it, right? And so I was thinking about it, And like I've said before, like I never read the book on any of the King of the Roads I've been on. Really, it stresses me out. I'd rather just like know what I have to do at the time when it comes. No need fucking stressing on it the whole time. Like, so I wasn't really looking at it, and everyone kept talking about the butt chug like the whole trip and trying to get me to do it. And I kept saying like, listen, like I will do it, but I'm not going to sign up for it. I'll do it if it's like, I think we should all draw straws or something. Like if there's a fair reasoning why I have to be the one to do it, because we definitely need to do it. We can't leave any points on the table. And it just kept getting further and further to like closer to the end, and no one had done it. When that night at Washington Street, when Chris Russell was going to skate naked, what I've learned from my King of the Roads, like it's all about, at the end of the day, I mean, like they're making a show and an art, like people want entertainment and good photos and stuff, and it's all about like like they love the stacking, the challenges and stuff, and like doing something slightly different when the challenges. I'm like, dude, if I'm butt chugging while he's skating naked, like that's gonna be too good to pass up. Like someone's got to do it, and like no one would fucking do it. And I was like, oh my god, like no one's gonna do this. I'm gonna have to do it. I've already done all this shit. Like what's Liz gonna think about me? And it just like, I was like, fuck it, maybe I'll just marry her after it.
So you did the butt chug, then you proposed to the camera, and then when it came out, you and Liz were hanging out to watch the episode together, right?
Yeah, well, that turned out to be a total fucking shit show, because like after I did the initial proposal, there's 8 months before that episode's gonna air. So I had to like
keep it on the low,
and then also try to figure out, but it seemed pretty simple. Like all I had to do is make sure I knew, like I just had to be around her when the episode was going to air. And I was like, I'll just make up, like it'll be pretty easy to make up an excuse. Like, hey, you want to like get a nice hotel room to like watch this episode, you know?
Mm-hmm.
But then of course, with my luck, turned out that her friend got engaged to, and she was having a fucking bachelorette party in Vegas for the time scheduled that my proposal video would air.
I didn't know that.
So then I was like, oh my god, how the fuck am I gonna it was even more complicated, because I couldn't explain why I needed to know so much about, like, why I was so like, what are you doing on these dates and stuff, like.
Yeah.
The only thing I could think of is working with Vice again and telling Liz that Vice was doing a follow-up episode, like there was going to be one more episode after King of the Road is done, of like checking up on the guys and like interviews with everyone and stuff. And I was like, and they want to do one with you, with the girl, like, I said they were like interviewing everyone's girlfriends, like, because so much people did like embarrassing stuff or whatever, and they wanted to get the girlfriends' reactions.
That's a good idea.
And so like made her some excuse why she had to like stay back from the bachelorette party for like an extra day, and then Vice had a couple of their dudes come out and film it.
Where was it? At your house?
No, we got like a nice hotel downtown
in Portland.
Fucking hot tub on the balcony and shit.
How did it unfold? Like, she's watching it. Did she have any idea?
I don't think so. I mean, I think she was pretty much under the impression that I was like anti-marriage.
So you guys are just watching the episode, and you got a couple camera dudes or whatever from Vice there, and then it comes on, and do you have a ring with you in the room too or something? Or
yeah, I had the ring, and then I had got my Scully necklace. Fucking, that was like the main ring thing to me. Like, I'm not gonna go spend a shitload of money on a ring that is like, I don't know, it doesn't make sense. But getting the Scully remade with, I got our dog's puppy teeth fucking put in it with like diamond eyes and shit, and it's nice, way nicer than, more special than some 5-carat bullshit. Yeah, I had to get the ring too, but
right.
the ring's Yeah, that's a weird one. I had such a meltdown the first time I went into a jewelry shop, and like for engagement rings, like the lady was so fucking whack. Like she was just like covered in jewelry, a fucking housewife, and was just like trying to show me like $1,000 rings, and I'm just like, well, can I still use it? And so I'm just like, you need like she's gonna wear this for the rest of her life. This is a symbol of your love. Like you need to like buy a $5,000 ring. And I'm like, you don't know me. And I like freaked out and was like, you don't know me, you don't know her. Like I don't have to get her. So I went to Fred Meyer, and the lady at Fred Meyer was actually real nice.
Oh, cool.
I ended up not getting the ring. Is still not technically an engagement ring, but I really don't understand why the fuck that like it's a ring.
I like the necklace idea too. That's pretty sick with the dog teeth and whatnot.
Yeah, that was actually really, I thought it wasn't going to be that hard, but when I first started trying to find a jeweler, that's a fucking weird word to say. A jeweler.
A jeweler.
Oh, jeweler. I was a jeweler. I'd be telling them what was up, and they'd be like, oh, this is going to like cost a lot of money and take months. And they were just like, I don't know, not really buying into that. Like, just wasn't right. And then my mom found some lady who just kind of like does that of a shop, like, and she was really cool and into it and wanted to like get it done. And when she told me like the price, she's like, I could probably do it for like $250. And like, I was like, I think I said 1,000 or something like that, because I've been hearing such high numbers the whole time, and just like, no, like just $250. I'm like, oh man, like that's amazing. Wow. Do this. And yeah, it turned out nice. And like I said, and it was crazy because she didn't even know I had the puppy teeth, because somehow I kept finding our puppy teeth without her knowing, and I had like 7 of them, and that's super rare. Like all my dogs that we'd have growing up, like I think we found like 1 puppy. Like it was so hard to find a puppy tooth. Like they'd lose them all over the place. You never.
Yeah. That's super cool. Damn. How's your mom been with all these shenanigans?
She's good. I mean, they're
like, out of all of them, which one has she kind of been closest to melting?
Coronavirus. Oh, with all my shit. No, she's totally about it.
Huh?
She's totally about my shenanigans.
Oh yeah. She doesn't freak out like on any of it?
No. The funny one is like when I got my eyebrows tattooed the first time, I guess I was like 23, 24, or 22. Fuck it. I called her and was like, Mom, I explained to her what the challenge was in the book about getting a Thrasher face tattoo, and I was like, the most points you can get in the book, and I'm like, I think I'm gonna like shave my eyebrows and get them under my eyebrows. Like, I don't think you'll be able to see them like too much or whatever. And she's like, oh, that's brilliant. Like, you're so clever, David.
Damn. Okay. What about did the in-laws see any of your proposal stuff?
Oh, they've seen it. Yeah.
Was that embarrassing? What was that like?
No, they're down. They're cool too. Like, I wanted to, that was another thing that I made sure after I did the proposal, I was like, I got 8 months to like talk to her parents as well and like ask for their permission, whatever. We're trying to be old school. And
yeah. Hey, it's kind of too late, but can I get your permission?
Pretty much. And I went down there for like a Christmas, and it's insane how hard it was to try to get like, Liz, I don't know if you know her good enough to know that she's fucking detective #1. Fucking extremely hard to fucking keep anything from. Dude, yeah, it's a pain in the ass a lot of the time.
Wow.
Yeah, trying to get that necklace. That's one thing I forgot to mention. Trying to get that done, and all the stuff I was doing behind the scene, trying to get the engagement ring too, because it was during that time where I was hurt for 2 years, and so she knew I wasn't going skating. If I usually use walking the dog as an excuse. So we have a GPS tracker on our dog, and every now and then she's always like checking in to see where the dog is, and like, I'm like, dude, you can see that I fucking take the dog to a fucking jeweler, and
yeah,
whatever. She knows where I am right now all the time. So there's definitely detective number one. And
But her parents were.
oh yeah. So I managed to get a little bit of time to talk to them. Like, listen, like
It's not pretty.
yeah. I gotta tell you something, but yeah, they took it real cool, and I remember her mom just saying like, finally, like it took you so long and stuff, but like
Rad.
in a good way, and yeah, they've always seemed to be down with my shenanigans as well.
That's rad. That's cool. Liz is from San Mateo, like city or two over from where I grew up, so it's always been interesting that like you met so far apart, and then that just brought you down to our neck of the woods more often, which was awesome.
Yeah, dude, I just found out that is Tom Brady the one that's from San Mateo too?
Yeah. He went to Sarah High School. It's insane.
San Mateo's got clout.
Yeah. How's the married life been?
It's been good. We're at 2 years now, and we've both forgotten our
Nice.
anniversaries each time. But we're good. We're still planning our actual wedding, apparently, too.
Oh, okay.
Trying to get it done. Because, yeah, I ended up having to get my hip surgery. Like, during that 2-year span, one of the problems was that hip surgery. And
Yeah.
my insurance was dropping me like usual at the end of the year, and I already had a surgery date for January 9th. And anyone who's familiar in the insurance game is it takes 2 weeks to get any surgery approved, and then you can't join. They only join you like at the end of the. I was having to figure this out at the end of the year, so everyone's like, "We'll deal with it like once the new year starts, then we can try to get your surgery approved." And I was like, "That's not going to work for me because I won't get it approved in time, and the surgeon is booked. I'll have to wait another 2 or 3 months to get surgery and start my stupid recovery fucking process when I've already been hurt for a year at this point." And so not willing to do that. And Liz was getting really good insurance through her work, so we figured out that if we got married, then I could be on her insurance. And so we just went to the courthouse and did that, and like went to our little, we got this spot in Portland, a hotel. I don't want to give away its name because it doesn't need to be any more blown out.
Uh-huh.
People already know what I'm talking about. It's got the old soaking pool and fucking lots of fun shit to do around. It's a nice place, and we've been going on little date nights there for 10 years or so. And so went there and had a ordained minister come out, a couple witnesses, and
Oh, cool.
just did it there. But we've been planning on actually having my parents haven't experienced a wedding for their kids yet, so I feel a little obligated to kind of do it for the family. But we'll see. 2 years later, it's getting a little late. Maybe we'll do it at like the 5-year anniversary or something.
Well, fuck, with the coronavirus, who knows? It's kind of crazy. How many pets you got up there?
Dude, just 2. Just 2 dogs. I mean, it's the double-edged sword, man. If you want to travel, it's hard to have a lot of pets.
Did you used to have like chickens or something?
My family has had chickens for most of my life, but they recently decided they couldn't take the heartbreak anymore, man. Like, anyone out there who has chickens understands that no matter how good you are to them, if you live somewhere where there's predators, there's nothing goddamn tastier than a fucking chicken, man. And they'll do anything to get to it. And my parents have always been great with the chickens, and they've still like. And it sucks too, because once a raccoon or something gets in there and takes one, it freaks them all out, and they stop laying eggs, and like shit gets dramatic. And then when you get you get your little chicklets, you can't. They're so hard to sex. Like, not even experts can sex them 100% guaranteed. So like, and it's illegal to have a rooster. So what would happen? Like, you get a fucking group of little babies and you get attached to them, and then it turns out one of them's a rooster, and you're supposed to fucking give it I remember just being a kid and being like, God, please don't, like, we didn't want them to start, because once they start crowing, that's when they'd give it away for sure, and you'd have to like do something about it. And I believe, like, I think my mom would usually find like non-kill places to take the roosters to, but it's definitely tough. Like, most of the times, yeah, you get the rooster, it just goes to water.
Yeah.
And so they decided after the last group my mom was in England and my dad stayed home, and he wasn't quite as adapted to the schedule of making sure the chickens are locked in at night, but he's good. And I know it bothered him a lot that he forgot to close them in one night, and all it takes is one night, and they got dusted. And then my parents were like, let's just not deal with this heartache anymore.
Over it. Yeah, that's fucking heavy. Damn.
Yeah, we were just talking about getting chickens here at this house the other day, and I was like, I don't know. We have a lot of raccoons in the house. I don't know if I'm skilled enough. I know that I'm not a skilled enough builder to keep them out. Probably.
Right.
Our chicken coop would be shoddy at best.
Hammocky said to ask you how many times your car's been stolen.
Three times, and they killed it the last time, man.
The same car?
My driveway every time. Yeah, Honda Civic.
Where they take it for a joyride? And then you find it?
First 2 times, that was pretty much what it was. The first time, it was definitely a group of kids or something, because and the first 2 times as well, like, it was amateurs for sure, because they really fucked up the steering column by their hot wiring was not hot. They were like doing something, I don't know, jamming it with the screwdriver or something.
Yeah.
They fucked it all up, and they fucked up both my door locks, because the first door they tried, they couldn't get in, so they went to the other door and fucked that up. Yeah, it's really, really annoying. I fucking can't believe it. I'd walk out of my house ready to go do something and be like, oh my God, the car's fucking gone again. Like, and
you got to get one of those steering wheel locks.
I had one. The second to last time it got stolen, it was gone for 3 months, and they found it. I kid you not. It was literally parked across the street from the Multnomah County Sheriff's Department. And they didn't even find, like, they were supposed to be looking for my car. And when they called me to tell me they'd found it 3 months later, it wasn't because they'd found, like, it got reported as, like, an abandoned vehicle by somebody else. Like, that's how they even ended. And it was spray painted flat black with with fucking burning skull and spiders on it. Like, the creature rally car logos. Like, it was so, it was stuck out like a sore thumb. And so these guys were definitely not looking for it. And the lady was definitely embarrassed to tell me where it was, because she didn't want it. The easiest way to describe where it was would be, hey, look up Multnomah County Sheriff's Department. Yeah, it's across the street. She was trying to give me all this runaround, like, you know where that old Target used to be? Because there wasn't actually any other, like, buildings, like, around. She's like, you go there and you go right. Like, there wasn't anything else around there really to, like, talk about.
Right.
And when I got there, I was like, motherfuckers. It's like, whoever stole it literally did that as like a fuck you to the, like, a little fucking, or maybe they're trying to be nice to me and be like, maybe he'll get his car back sooner if we park it by the fucking police station.
Dude, that's
and it'd been there the whole time, because, like, for 3 months.
Are other cars in your neighborhood getting stolen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Portland's got a horrible fucking car theft problem. Like, when my car's not getting stolen, it's getting broken into for.
Okay.
I've paid so many goddamn $500 insurance deductibles. Like,
fuck, I hate that shit. My car used to get broken into, and nothing would get stolen. There's nothing in it. They would just break the window, and, like, it'd be like, God damn it.
Yeah, I think there's, like, a few months ago or more, like half a year, I went kayaking, came back, somebody had broken all the windows in my lady's Subaru except one. And they didn't steal any, like, there was stuff in there to steal too, kind of, not like great stuff, but I think there was, like, can't remember what, but I remember being like, damn, why didn't they take this? They didn't take anything that I could find, and they, like, bled all over the place.
Oh God.
And then, like, that car got taken to the shop. The next day, my friend hits me up randomly at 6:30 in the morning. He lives in Austin, Texas, and he's like, yo, can you drive a fucking car? Can you get in a car and drive to Austin, Texas? Like, my company will pay you $200 a day. We need, like, a lady left this vehicle in Portland, like this brand new Denali, and they need it back in Austin, Texas. And I was like, yeah, I'm down to do this. I want to come see you. Like, let's party. And when someone else came to pick me up and give me the keys and take me to the vehicle, but it had gotten broken into. And it was a Bose headphone. Like, we had like thousands and thousands of dollars worth of Bose headphones in the back. And they broke the window and didn't take anything.
Oh, weird.
So we had to drive it to a shop and leave it. And the guy's like, so where do you want me to take you? You want me to take you back home? And I'm like, no, actually you have to take me to this other mechanic because our car's in the shop for getting its windows broken. Like, and he's like, what the fuck's wrong with this city, man? And I'm like,
Jesus.
It's bad.
Oh
the police, like, they used to have a whole task force for trying to recover vehicles, and now they just abandoned it because they couldn't keep up with it. That's why I've been just skating them.
Well, fuck, dude. I think I've taken plenty of your time. I really appreciate you. I love you. Miss you guys. I haven't seen you in a long time. The hospitality you showed last time I was up there was so sick. You guys still have all those inner tubes and stuff for the river and shit?
Oh, yeah. Well,
dude,
we've got kayaks now.
That was a good day. Me, you, Bryce, Ortiz, fuck, I forget who else, but I think Kronik. Yeah, it was fun.
Got shoulder surgery the next day.
Oh, that's right. That is right.
Dude, I've floated that river. I've done that same lot. Like, I did that the day before I got hip surgery as well.
Wow. It's a nice fucking ride. It's just like a mellow. It's a good one.
Yeah, but if you do it in the kayak, you get to go, and you do it in the winter, and the kayak is actually the best time to do it. Because
whitewater?
You know that run that we did that takes like 6 hours?
Yeah.
You get that whole thing done in like 40 minutes.
Oh, really?
And then like you do another 2 miles into the Columbia, and then you take the Columbia like another 2 miles down and get picked up from this other park. It's my run.
Well, if this thing ever changes, my goal was to come up there this summer and hang out with you, Willis, Joe Brook, and get some shit going.
Dude, you definitely should, man. We definitely need to get some more times in the bank, man.
Yeah, for sure. You got a good song to fucking take it to the road with?
Ooh. I mean, lately I just can't get enough of Outdoor Plan by Hank 3.
Well, thanks for the time, dude. I'm fucking really proud of you for hooking up the Zoom, and good to see your face, and hopefully I'll see you in person sooner than later.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for having me. And yeah, I love you too.
All right. Cheers, bro.
Later, brother.
Later.
How do I end this shit?
Thank you for listening to another episode of Talkin Schmit. You can subscribe to the show on iTunes, Anchor, Spotify, or anywhere you get your podcasts. When you subscribe, you'll get notifications every Tuesday of new episodes the minute they become available. Also, please leave reviews and a 5-star rating. It's the best way to help the show grow. All of the episodes will always remain free, but if you would like to help support the show, you can do so at TalkinSchmit.com, where you can pick up some merchandise like t-shirts, beanies, hats, and stickers. The website has an entire archive of all of the episodes, with extra photos and videos. Email us with any suggestions, comments, or ways that the show may have improved your life at talkinschmit@gmail.com. All interviews are conducted, edited, and produced by Schmitty. The intro music is Mary's Cross by the band Nature. Very special shout out goes to the executive director, Sharal Camisa.
Shout out.
Love it!
This is Talkin Schmit, where the Rolodex is deep, but the conversation is deeper.